The only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it. And
okay, so here's the part that people are really surprised about. President Trump is offering a deal in which the U.S. would take over, i.e. control, i.e. make it like a Guam or a Solomon Islands, a U.S. territory, I don't know what, and create and rebuild it. So what he's saying, in other words, is take the Gazans out, find them a new home, whether it's Jordan, Egypt, or not enough is being said about Syria, because Syria could totally take in a lot of Gazans right now. It's been depopulated. 2 million people back in the land is not going to, into Syria, is not going to hurt them. So that's an option. Then the U.S. would come in and they would somehow, some legal mechanism, take control of Gaza. I'm guessing he means like a territory, and then rebuild it. And probably, I'm guessing he means that he would, create a consortium of Arab countries and other countries that want to see it rebuilt and really create there a Monaco, a Singapore, a Riviera. What was the other country that I was thinking about? UAE, a type of like economic zone, a Hong Kong. That's what I really was thinking. Hong Kong, like a type of economic zone where people from the region could live. Obviously, they have to be non-jihadists. And so move them out, take it over, clean it up, build it up, bring in people who want prosperity for the region. Now, why would a person like myself even support that for a second? I'm an Israeli ultra-nationalist. Dun, dun, dun. Ultra-nationalist. Sometimes they use that term to try to hurt my feelings. You're an ultra-nationalist. I'm like, yeah, I ultra love my land. Yeah, is that okay? I mean, I think most patriots are ultra-nationalists. In any case, why would I want something that I think is clearly Jewish land and has Jewish history, from Samson's wars to King Solomon controlling Gaza and the ports of Gaza, to the Maccabees? So King Solomon's first temple, the Maccabees under Simon, Shimon controlled and settled Gaza. We've even found a sixth century synagogue in Gaza before the advent of Islam. Why would I want to see America take it over? Well, if you do the Hong Kong model, then they're going to clean it up, build it into something great. And next door, instead of having a jihad center, I'm going to have a Costco and a Target and beautiful tall buildings on the Riviera of Gaza. That's one aspect of it. Another aspect of it is that I think that if Israel tried to do that right now, our own Supreme Court wouldn't let us do it. Okay, and the Israeli left would be like, "No, you can't do it," and we'd face a lot of problems from the Israeli, the hardcore Israeli left. We'd face problems with that, and we would also face problems from the world. People would be like, "Oh, you're occupying, you're stealing somebody else's land." This is a neutral party, the United States, saying, "Hey, we're going to come in, we're going to beautify it, we're going to fix it, and we're gonna make a future for it." And maybe one day it'll get reincorporated into Israel, like Hong Kong got reincorporated into China. But of course, we would not, want to, do what China did to Hong Kong. But my point is that maybe, or maybe it'll stay this ex parte, this territory, this free trade economic zone, this UAE, this emirate, right? There's a Gaza emirate, which is what Professor Kedar was always talking about. So there is a way to see this in which it solves a problem which is seemingly intractable. And that's why a person like me, who's an ultra-nationalist, can still see the benefits of how this could help us move forward. It would get rid of the jihad. It would turn that land into a blessing. Israel would be part of it, and it would become an economic zone that would be good for the region. And maybe it'll get reincorporated into Israel one day, and maybe not. So that is I was surprised when I myself caught myself thinking like that. I was surprised. I was like, I'm surprised at you, Yishai. But then again, sometimes with a bad situation, you have to think creatively. And sadly, the Jewish state gave up Gaza to the Hamas. And that was a royal mistake, a horrible mistake. That has to be rectified. And those steps, to take steps to rectify it, are not so simple. Maybe this is an innovative proposal. Let's keep going.
Be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create an economic development that will supply unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years. I'm hopeful that this ceasefire could be the beginning of a larger and more enduring peace that will end the bloodshed and killing once and for all. With the same goal in mind, my administration has been moving quickly to restore trust in the alliance and rebuild American strength throughout the region. And we've really done that. We're a respected nation again. A lot's happened in the last couple of weeks. We are actually a very respected nation again. I ended the last.
Well, nobody respects weakness. Nobody respects you supporting the jihad. Nobody respects you paying money to the UN while it is an anti-American and anti-Israel organization. And I think Donald Trump is right. When you show strength, when you show leadership, and you do it quick, and you have a plan, and you hire great people and put them around you, people are like, wow, this is a serious organization called the country of the United States of America. I think he's right. I think there is respect. I have respect for this kind of America. And I have a lot less respect for a Biden United States, which has all of its, wacky progressive ideas that allow, this is not my issue, but I don't want to see men fighting women under the guise of them being female athletes. I think that's horrible. And there's many more. It's not my issue. But the point is that when you have a country that has a progressivism that is destructive, that undermines its own history, that undermines its own self-respect, nobody respects that. Folks, I want to remind you that as we're talking today, I'd love to hear from you. So please let me know where you're from. Write it in the chats, and we're going to read out the blessings of your countries at the end of the show. I also want to remind you that we make daily content here at Yishai Fleischer TV, and we put it out. We have a great team. We work hard. We work incessantly, almost insanely, to put out truth to the world. And please subscribe and join our channel. It's a lot of fun. And also, I remind you that you can do super chats right now, which will help us and will, of course, read out your comments. So please consider super chatting. That would be really super. Let's keep going.
Administration's de facto arms embargo on over $1 billion in military assistance for Israel.
Did I forget to mention that the Trump administration has unembargoed the embargo that the Biden administration put on Israel? We weren't getting the bombs and weapons. Literally, you had commanders in the field being like, we don't have enough artillery. I heard it myself many times. We don't have enough bullets. We don't have enough artillery. Now, we certainly should create our own artillery. Israel should be independent. But in the meantime, the United States is going to now be selling Israel $1 billion worth of armament, bombs, and other important things that we need to continue to fight the war.
And I'm also pleased to announce that this afternoon, the United States withdrew from the anti-Semitic UN Human Rights Council and ended all of the support for the UN Relief and Works Agency, which funneled money to Hamas and which was very disloyal to humanity. Today, I also took action to.
So just, in a kind of flippant announcement, he says, yeah, I pulled out of the Human Rights Commission, and I also pulled out of UNRWA because UNRWA, the Human Rights Commission, was anti-Semitic, and UNRWA was funneling money and protecting Hamas. And in UNRWA offices, there were Hamas bases. And so I'm out. This monster that we've been living with for so long, this heinous monster, this lie that this international organization was somehow a human rights organization, It's just been upended right now. Israel kicked them out of Israel, and the United States stopped funding them. The lies will not be funded. The hate will not be funded. The jihad will not be funded by people who suffer from the jihad. So here's this litany list, which just blows my mind, of accomplishments upending the lies that we were living with for so long.
Restore a maximum pressure policy on the Iranian regime, and we will once again enforce the most aggressive possible sanctions, drive Iranian oil exports to zero, and diminish the regime's capacity to fund terror throughout the region and throughout the world. We had no threat when I left office. Iran was not able to sell oil. Nobody was buying oil because I said, don't buy it. If you buy it, you're not doing any business with the United States. And Hamas was not being funded. Hezbollah was not being funded. Nobody was being funded. There would never have been an October 7th. 2 weeks ago, I once...
So this, once again, part of the list is, but this one's so key, which is Iran. That's the head of the snake, the head of, not the head of the snake, the head of the octopus. It's got all these tentacles. Defund them. Put an embargo not on selling arms to Israel, but on selling Iranian oil. Sanction them. Push back on them. They're the Nazis of our time. They kill Americans. They kill Israelis. They push. They suppress freedom-loving people, including, first and foremost, the Iranian people, and so ruin their economy. Help the people overthrow that government. This is what I call Israel Liberation Nation. That's all we should be doing right now, is pushing back on these horrible, horrible folks. And so I am, again, when you hear this list, you just got to be blown away about the amount of truth that we just got, like, served at us. Let's just read a comment from Stephen Bielik, who writes, "Send them to China." Okay, I don't know if that's that. I'm not sure that that's a natural place for them. You know, I would put them. I think Syria is great, but okay. Thank you, Stephen, very much, and thank you for your support. And Benji says, "Do you think Gaza should become Gush Katif or Dubai?" I think that what does he mean by that? Gush Katif or Dubai? I think that it could be both Gush Katif and Dubai. It shouldn't be owned by Dubai, but it should be successful like Dubai, but have Jewish presence like Gush Katif. So thank you very much, Benji. And let's see if we have another important donation here. Should we pursue, says Payne, should we pursue the re-education of Gazans as well to stop future extremism activities from them? Israel from Thailand. Shalom. I've been to Thailand, and God bless Thailand. I wanted to say, I think the coinage there is called the baht. But in any case, I want to say, of course, we should be involved in education. One of the things that I fault the Israeli government is that we really have done not enough to educate the Arabs. We do not put out enough in Arabic. We do not tell the story of Israel. We do not send out as much knowledge and information about why Israel is a blessing, why there should be cooperation between brothers, why Abrahamic is a consciousness that we should all be embracing around here, and that we are part of the Abrahamic Union. Sadly, the Arab world is under the incessant brainwashing of jihadism, and I don't think that Israel has done enough. So back to Payne, I say, yes, we should invest in not just re-education of Gazans, but generally education of Arabs in our region, and that would be very, very important. I think we should do much more to start talking about how we are cousins and how Israel has historic rights, and to undermine the jihadist teaching that we see all the time. One more comment. Helena says, in those days when 10 men of all languages, of all nations, should take hold of the skirt, or the tzitzit, the corner, the corner strings that Jewish people are commanded to wear from the Bible, hold on the skirt of a Jewish man, saying, "Let us go with you, for we have heard that God is with you." That's from Zechariah chapter 8. Says Helena, absolutely right, Helena. We're living in those times, and that's why we're doing this broadcast, to connect people around the world to the story of Jerusalem. And if you want to hold on to my strings, here it is. Okay, I got the strings right here. Notice the blue tchelet. It's a biblical commandment. So here we go. You can virtually hold on. Helena, virtually hold on. Let's do it, okay? Virtually hold on and come on to the God of Israel who resides in Jerusalem. So thank you very much for that, Helena. God bless you. Let me just put that back up.
Designated the Houthis as a terrorist organization. They're trying to destroy world shipping lanes, and that's not going to happen. And over the weekend, I ordered airstrikes against senior ISIS leaders hiding in the caves of Somalia and took them out.
So he's now on that list that we started talking about before. He was saying he's sanctioning Iran. He's saying he's fighting against the Houthis. And by the way, how is it that the previous American administration did not fight the Houthis, who were slowing down global shipping? How is it that the world didn't go against the Houthis when they were slowing down global shipping and making everybody's world prices go up? How is it that the Egyptians, who were suffering the most because their precious Suez Canal was slowed down and the payments that they get for every ship were slowed down, how is it that they didn't get on the bandwagon? Okay. The bottom line is, when there's a lack of leadership, everybody just throws up their hands and they don't know what to do. And here comes President Trump. Within 2 weeks, he's like, we're going to fight these Houthis and we're going to restore global shipping, drop prices down. All right. That's another part of that list.
Here in America, we've begun the process of deporting foreign terrorists, jihadists, and Hamas sympathizers from our soil, just as we have people that are extremely evil, and we're sending them out of our country. They came from jails. They came from mental institutions and insane asylums, and they were dumped into our country. They're gang members. We're getting them out at numbers that nobody can actually believe. And every single country is taking those people back. They said they would never take them back, and they're all taking them back, and they're taking them back very gladly.
Okay, so bad guys that are on your soil, they don't have to be there. By the way, Israel, hint, hint. If you have people who hate you, get rid of them, deport them. And if you're releasing terrorists, deport them. Don't put people who hate you on your soil. Bad idea. Bad for the health of your people. And it takes, again, President Trump, who's going to be like, wait a minute, why are there all these jihadis protesting in Washington and taking over our campuses? Why do we want that? Why should we just throw up our hands and say that's the way it is? It's not the way it is. Get rid of the bad guys. Israel, take a hint. Learn a lesson. In all countries, France, England, you have Sweden, Germany. You have a problem with jihadis on your land? Figure out who they are, round them up, and send them out. Don't let bad guys destroy your society, rape your women, hurt your children, and brainwash the youth of that country, which is what's happening on Columbia campus and other places like that. Fight them, get rid of them, and have what is so important vis-a-vis the jihad, which is strong governance. Strong governance. Let's finish up this list from President Trump.
And I recently signed an executive order combating the vile wave of anti-Semitism that we've seen in the aftermath of the October 7th attacks. Together, America and Israel will renew the optimism that shined so brightly just 4 years ago. It was really a bright, beautiful light. We will restore calm and stability to the region and expand prosperity, opportunity, and hope to our nations and for all people of the Middle East, including the Arab and Muslim nations. Very important. We want the Arab and Muslim nations to have peace and have tranquility and have great lives. I'd like to now invite Prime Minister Netanyahu.
All right, so that was an amazing list of accomplishments. Let me read a note here from Abraham, who says Trump's vision is great, but can't only Israel land be truly prosperous when developed and inhabited by the Jewish people? You know, the land of Israel responds positively to the Jewish people. That's what we did in Gush Katif, which was the communities in Gaza. Sadly, we gave that up. We made a horrible mistake. Now we have to have a road to recovery. There is thousands, maybe millions of tons of debris there. It needs to be cleaned up. There needs to be a new way to figure this out and to beautify. Yes, the Jewish people belong in Gaza, but it could be that this is a pathway forward towards that. But in the meantime, to clean it up and to help evacuate the Gazan people, we need a big player to round up other big players, I think, and to make it happen. That's what it seems like to me, but I might be wrong.